Hello everyone, Tim from Nickel and Dime Me Travels here. Today we're going to be talking about the Hawaii cruise vacation we took back in October of 2019. This one is an 11-day cruise vacation on the Norwegian Jewel, starting in Vancouver and ending in Honolulu. This video will focus on the stateroom we stayed in during this cruise, Penthouse Suite room 9502, all the way forward on the ship. Now, the Norwegian Jewel was recently refurbished at the end of 2018, so in many ways it felt like a much newer ship than it actually was. Unfortunately, if you're looking to book a cabin on the ship, NCL still has not seen fit to update its website with pictures of the refurbished cabins as of the creation of this video. So it was a challenge for us to figure out exactly what our cabin was going to look like. Even doing a mock booking as recently as today, that was still the case, and the pictures are out of date and not representative of what you'll see if you were actually to book a cabin on this ship. So we do hope this video will help out anyone that might be considering a penthouse cabin on the Jewel and give you a current view of what the cabin looks like today. If you do like this video, feel free to click the thumbs up icon to let us know that what we're making is hitting the mark and helpful to you. Before we get started, I do want to give a quick disclaimer to this video. This is our first YouTube video, and we certainly aren't professional photographers. I know these photos aren't the greatest quality, but hopefully they should be good enough to judge the cabin for yourself. Look at it this way: if this is the way our photos look today, they really have nowhere to go from here but up. One of the few things that I don't think was touched was the door to the cabin itself, which I believe was essentially the same as it was prior to the renovation. Upon entering the cabin itself, you'll notice that it looks very different than what you may have seen on NCL's website. The carpeting, furniture, wall coverings, and decorations have all been replaced and really give the whole cabin that new ship kind of feeling throughout. You'll also notice a bottle of champagne right next to the desk area, which was complimentary for suite guests, a nice touch by NCL. For those champagne connoisseurs out there, the label on the bottle was, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this right, DUC de Valmer Brut, labeled as Premier, but I really doubt that it was anything too premium. We both thought it was decent, but take that with a grain of salt, as we aren't big drinkers and we really don't have a ton to compare it with. When you enter the room, you'll find a good-sized closet immediately to your right, with a robe and slippers provided by NCL. In addition, there was a provided umbrella that you'll see against the floor. The closet was lighted for easy visibility and included multiple hooks that could be used to hang clothes or for women's bags. We ended up packing pretty heavily for this 11-day trip, having 3 checked bags, 1 carry-on, and 2 backpacks, and we had no issue at all fitting whatever bags we needed to in this closet. And another nice thing about the closet is that it's accessible both from the main entryway as well as the hallway to the other side, which we'll see later in this video. As you round the corner of the room past the closet, you'll see a china cabinet with various wine glasses, coffee cups, cutlery, napkins, and a coffee maker, along with ample instant coffees and tea bags. We use these to make tea for ourselves on a number of occasions. Don't expect the red hot coffee here, as the best the coffee maker could manage was more towards the warm side. Underneath the china cabinet was another small cabinet which contained the mini fridge. Prior to embarkation, we did ask NCL to remove all the drinks from the mini fridge so that we could use it for keeping our water cold or food fresh. If you're not planning on partaking in the alcoholic mini drinks, I would suggest you do the same so that you aren't accidentally charged for anything. The juices that you see were complimentary and were waiting for us when we arrived in our stateroom. A basic desk area was provided underneath the TV that had room to store a few things on top of, as well as the drawers underneath it. There was also an alarm clock that we never attempted to use during our stay. The room service menus, as well as various other documentation, such as concierge contact info, were provided here. The TV was a good size, however channels were somewhat limited, having a few news stations and ship info channels. We didn't watch these too much. We did, however, request a DVD player and selected a list of DVDs for our butler to bring us, which was complimentary during our stay. There was also an easily accessible HDMI port on the TV, which we were able to hook up to our Apple tablet and watch a few additional videos. One of the nice things about this suite is that it includes a real dining table, not an end table or coffee table that might be uncomfortable to eat at. While it might be a bit tight if you tried to fit 4 people at this small table, it was perfect for the 2 of us. Our butler brought us breakfast on several mornings, and it was great to be able to relax at this table and start our day with a private breakfast service. As far as the room service menu goes, we were pretty much able to ask for whatever we wanted, regardless of what was actually presented on the menu. We had requested our usual oatmeal with fruit breakfast, again not part of the normal menu, but it wasn't a problem for our butler to bring us. And you'll see the full prepared breakfast here, complete with the aforementioned oatmeal, omelets, as well as fruit and coffee. In addition to our room service breakfasts, our butler brought us various afternoon snacks, which included sandwiches, chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate chip cookies, and a very delicious pound cake, as well as a daily supply of fruit. Our queen size bed had an additional mattress topper that made it very comfortable. If you do call NCL beforehand, you can request feather, memory foam, or hypoallergenic pillows or comforters. The USB ports underneath the lights on either side of the bed made charging of electronic devices easy. It was also nice to have a phone with digital clock that automatically updated the time, as there were many time changes during our journey from Vancouver to Hawaii. We found the wake-up call service to be very reliable for getting us up in the morning. For those families sleeping more than 2 people in the cabin, the couch had a small pull-out bed suitable for 1 person to sleep on. We didn't try it, so I can't comment on how comfortable it might have been to sleep on. There was also a privacy curtain that came around the length of the bed and separated it from the rest of the cabin, which could come in handy if you're making use of that extra bed. So that brings us to the most irritating feature of the room for us, which was the ventilation. The AC vents for the room were located in the ceiling, with one fairly large one located right above the head of the bed. This led to the vents blowing right into your face all night long, which, if you're a light sleeper like I am, could really interfere with your sleep. We reached out to our butler and our room steward about this, but there really wasn't much they could do about it, so we ultimately just had to live with that annoyance and pull the sheets over our heads. As first-time cruisers, one of the things we were of course looking forward to was the all-too-famous towel animals. While NCL did not provide these to us every night of the cruise, we did manage to come back to a couple of them during our nightly turn-down service. The first one is open to a bit of interpretation, but we think it looked like a pig. We're pretty sure the second one was a brontosaurus. The hallway facing the bed provided access to the closet from the other side, as well as a well-lit powder room for getting ready each day, including a hairdryer and cotton balls, which my wife tells me are important for getting ready in the morning. The open doorway that you see in this picture leads to the bathroom. Next to the desk were several shelves that could be used to store any toiletries that you might need. There were ample drawers along the hallway to store clothes in, and this is where we ended up storing most of our clothes during the trip, as well as 2 electronic safes for storing any of those valuables. The bathroom was really one of the areas that was not touched as a result of the refurbishment. It was definitely showing a bit of wear, but was still nice overall. It was split into 3 sections, one for the bath shower, one for the sink, and one for the toilet area. The entire floor of the bathroom was anti-skid, which helped keep secure footing on a sometimes turbulent ship. The sink area had shelving for storing toiletries, as well as liquid soap dispenser. There was some shelving here above the sink with a rim that prevented items from sliding off. Included in the room was a loofah, shower cap, and Bulgari hand soap, as well as shampoo, conditioner, and lotion, which we made good use of. Underneath the sink was a garbage bin on the left and a medical waste box for disposing of items like insulin needles, blades, etc. The bathroom has a tub-shower combination unit, rather than the walk-in shower that is typical of the balcony room on the Jewel. The shower head was height adjustable, and the body wash and shampoo dispensers were present along the walls. The floor of the bathtub itself was anti-skid. That, along with a handlebar on the side of the shower, certainly helped us out when the ship was moving around a bit in the ocean turbulence. There was also a clothesline for hanging any wet items like swimsuits. While this overall tub shower combo setup worked okay for us, be advised that the tub shower has an extremely high step in, so those with mobility issues might have difficulty getting in and out of it. As mentioned, the toilet is sectioned off from the rest of the bathroom and has a sliding privacy door that could be used to allow others to use the sink or shower area at the same time. While I understand the concept behind this in theory, I'm not sure how comfortable I would have been using this with someone else in the bathroom, and I'm not sure the other person would have appreciated it either. In reality, closing the door makes this a pretty tight space, and honestly, we never use that door at all. I would have preferred if the entire bathroom was just one open space, but that's just my opinion. The balcony area was one of our favorite features of the cabin, and very spacious with enough room for 2 stand-up chairs, 2 loungers, and a small table. The entrance to the balcony from the room consisted of 2 doors, the outer of which was a heavy metal door that would have provided good protection against any inclement weather. It's definitely one of the deepest balconies I've seen on any cruise ship cabin. The sides of the balcony sloped downward, which resulted in lesser privacy as you walked forward towards the balcony rail. When you were all the way forward on the balcony, you could pretty much see all the other balconies around the front of the ship, along with anyone else that happened to be standing out on them. As our suite was forward facing, we did have a wonderful view over the bow of the ship, right underneath the bridge. We enjoyed the tea and afternoon snacks that our butler brought to us out on our balcony on many days. There was also cushioning for the balcony loungers underneath the bed, however we never did get around to asking the room steward to put these out for us. So that brings us to the overall review opinion of the Penthouse Suite on the Jewel. Given everything we've discussed here, would I recommend this cabin to others? I would, but with a few caveats. First of all, let me say that the general reputation for cruise line service is well deserved, as we felt completely taken care of and pampered by NCL from the moment we stepped aboard. Our cabin came with a number of nice features, including the use of a butler and a concierge. The butler was always there to ensure that everything was working fine in the room. He also offered a luggage packing and unpacking service, although we never used that. The concierge helped with booking of any excursions or restaurant reservations that we needed. We also got priority embarkation and debarkation as well as priority access to the ports. This was kind of a mixed bag. The embarkation in Vancouver worked pretty well, as we were separated out from the rest of the cruise ship passengers and led to a private area for suite guests that included complimentary food and drink. Shortly after, we were able to board the ship well ahead of the other guests. And as suite guests, we had access to Moderno, the ship's premium Brazilian steakhouse, for both breakfast and lunch for no additional charge. This was a great place to get away from the extremely busy buffet and main dining room during those times. Unfortunately, the menu did not change at all during the cruise, so we did get a bit tired of the choices offered, and sometimes smuggled some food from the buffet up to Moderno in order to eat in peace and quiet. We were also invited to a number of premium experiences within the Haven, which is the ship's exclusive area for VIP guests. This included a VIP cocktail reception with the ship's senior officers, as well as a viewing party of the Nepali coast upon departure from Kauai. Our cabin was all the way in the front of the ship, directly below the bridge, so it was fairly prone to motion for a good deal of the cruise. We experienced a good deal of motion during our 11-day cruise. I don't normally consider myself too sensitive to that kind of thing, but I did end up taking a fairly regular regimen of Dramamine during the cruise. So if you are sensitive to motion, you might be better off with a midship cabin. Also, the location may not be as convenient as you want, as many of the things you'll want to do will be located midship, so there will be a lot of walking back and forth to your cabin for many things. We really didn't mind that too much, as it offered us an excuse to work off a few of the calories we were consuming on a daily basis. The cabin is 2 decks above the main theater on the ship, so it was possible to hear some noise from the theater during the 7:15 and 9:15 shows each day. It was never a big problem for us, as we weren't trying to sleep during those times, but if you are a light sleeper and were trying to sleep during the show times, the noise could have made that difficult. Overall, we had a wonderful experience on the ship, and if these downsides don't matter to you, I would highly recommend booking the forward-facing Penthouse Suite on the Norwegian Jewel. And of course, I couldn't end this video without giving a plug to our wonderful travel agent, Caitlin Gallagher of Ambrin Travel. As first-time cruisers, we were a bit lost as to how to pick a cruise line, ship, itinerary, and cabin, and she helped walk us through the process and was very patient with us as we considered many possible cruise options. If you need help planning out your next cruise vacation, feel free to reach out to her, and I know she'll take good care of you. Thanks for watching, everyone.